Y'all, this Ramadan is personal. It's personal. And do I say that every year? Yes, every single year. And how do I end a month? I wish I could have done better. I know I could have done better. Not this year. This year, after what I went through in 2025, this year, when I say I am locked in. Because let me tell you guys something. Ramadan is not just spiritual, it's structural. And to the autistic and ADHD brain, that is so necessary. That reset, the alignment, it's all necessary. And as a neurodivergent who struggles with her faith, who can preach hours on end and still struggle with just getting up, making wudu and praying. Because my brain is at a constant battle with my body. And then my ego is at a constant battle with my soul. Being a neurodivergent Muslim is not for the weak. The guilt that comes from not doing enough, not praying enough, and constantly judging myself about how Allah feels about me is why I make most of my videos. To remind myself and you that Allah is so merciful. He sees your struggles, He sees your pain, and most importantly, He knows your intentions. Today's video is about Ramadan because this year we have to make it count. We have to do better. There's way too much going on in the world to ignore this beautiful month and what can come from it. Let's get started. So, what if Ramadan is not just a spiritual month? What if fasting is not just about staying away from food, but about transforming your internal state? Allah says in the Quran, "O you who believe, fasting has been prescribed for you as it has been prescribed for those before you, so that you may attain taqwa." Allah says taqwa, not hunger, not exhaustion, which we do experience during Ramadan. Consciousness of Allah, awareness. Now let's think about that for a minute. In quantum physics, at the most smallest level of reality, nothing is solid the way it looks. Everything is energy, atoms, particles, you, and even your thoughts are electrical signals. In your heart has an electromagnetic field. Your body runs on frequencies. In physics, I've mentioned many times that observation changes behavior at the quantum level. Okay, yeah, but what does that have to do with Ramadan? Think about it. What does fasting allow you to do? What does it force you to do? Fasting removes the constant stimulation. No food, no water, not even water. No, not even water. Less dopamine, less impulsive gratification. And if you pay attention, suddenly you're aware. Aware of your hunger, your tongue, your reactions, your thoughts. Ramadan forces observation, and when you observe something at a deep level, it starts to change. You see what I did there? I just science and Islamified it for you. Allah also says, "Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves." Ramadan is about the internal work. It's a time to change what's within. And when you fast, you weaken the nafs. I did a video about the soul versus the nafs. It is so important that you know the difference between the two. Fasting forces you to weaken the nafs, which is the ego, the impulsive self. In a way, you tell your body, you don't control me. You feel anger, but you do your best not to act upon it. You feel hunger, but you don't feed it. You feel desire, but you restrain it. And that right there, that restraint, that's what rewires you. Listen, your discipline changes your behavior. Then your behavior changes your habits. And then ultimately your habits will change your whatever's destined for you, your destiny. Small shifts create massive outcomes. I know fasting can appear to be not a big deal, but that small shift, that fasting creates such a big difference in internal, significance for the soul. Let's get a little deeper. Allah says about Laylatul Qadr, the night of decree is better than 1,000 months. One night, better than 1,000 nights. Modern physics shows that time is not absolute. Time stretches and compresses depending on speed and gravity. And Allah already told us that time is not fixed the way we experience it. Ramadan shifts our relationship with time. Our days feel longer, our nights feel just heavier. And naturally, when the stimulation decreases, your awareness, it heightens. When you consume less, You reflect more naturally. And that ego of yours, once it's checked, your presence increases. You create value for yourself. We're forced to remove the distractions so we can feel that closeness with Allah. Quantum physics shows us that reality at its core is deeply interconnected. And you guys know my favorite saying, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is random. Not your hunger, not your hardship, not your timing. For the weak soul, Ramadan is a punishment. I once looked at it like that. Oh, we gotta fast again. Oh, we gotta pray every that was me for the longest. And don't judge me. I'm just being honest. I'm also working on myself to change all of that. Because the older I get, the older I realize that Ramadan is not a punishment. It was never a punishment. It's literal calibration. It's alignment. It's purification of the soul. That's necessary for the rest of the year. Because have you ever considered that Ramadan is not just a reward for the next life? And maybe, just maybe, it's about transforming this life, internal shifts, energetic discipline, spiritual elevation. There's so much that comes with that. So many blessings, so many just... For those who experience Ramadan the way it's meant to be experienced, they end the month not just feeling different, but actually becoming different. This year, we are taking full advantage. You know how many Ramadans I've spent so basic? Like, I've spent doing the literal bare minimum. And at the end of it, like during Eid or like after Ramadan, I'm like, I could have done better. I could have done so much better. Like, that regret comes in. Like, I didn't do that good, actually. I don't want that feeling this year. This year has to be different. And it will be. Because as a collective, we are rising on a spiritual and conscious level. We are all experiencing this. There will be so many non-Muslims joining us Muslims during this month of Ramadan because of all of the benefits that I just mentioned. So this year, make it count. Put in work. Starve yourself, not just from food, but from everything that has held us back for so long. And literally become the best version of yourself. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and share this with our ummah, and come back for more.